Associated Students holds an open forum to discuss divestment from companies involved in the Middle East conflict. We'll show you what they decided.
The tragic events unfolding in Paris are affecting students here on campus. The attacks may change their aspirations in international study.
The California Faculty Association's Fight for 5% extends to Long Beach, but professors watch the demonstration unfold here at SJSU.
And final exams are quickly approaching. We'll show you the way to get an A. Update News starts now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Adrienne Manso.
And I'm Eugene Liu. Thanks for joining us. Associated Students of SJSU wants to cut financial ties with Israel. The board has adopted a resolution calling for divestment. Update News reporter Bobby Dupree has more on the vote and details on the discussion. He joins us live on campus. Bobby?
Eugene, emotions ran high during the open forum Wednesday in the Student Union Ballroom. The divestment issue is centered around the fact that SJSU is currently doing businesses with companies like Caterpillar and Hewlett-Packard that are currently providing goods and equipment to Israel, which is currently in big conflict with Palestine. Many students came out to the open forum to express their opinions and their emotional testimonies from their homelands.
I mean, every 2 years you hear on the news 2,000 plus Palestinians are murdered and stuff. And for our school to invest in companies that are cool with it and support it, that's something that I'm not with at all.
Speakers siding with the Palestinians made remarks regarding human rights and called to end oppression for the people of Palestine. Everyone who spoke was able to give a 2-minute speech to persuade the board to vote their way. Jewish students and community members said divesting would bring violence and anti-Semitism.
Campus of UC Davis, such an investment resolution passed in late January this year. 2 days later, Nazi swastikas were graffitied on the Jewish fraternity house.
Schools like Stanford, Berkeley, and UC Santa Cruz also all recently passed a divestment resolution. UC Santa Cruz and Jewish student Siona Espinoza recalled anti-Semitic actions following her campus's vote just the night before this hearing.
And I think what's important is to not silence the students that are for BDS or that are against BDS, but to make sure that the boards are aware that this is an opening of what I call the floodgates of anti-Semitism.
Organizations like Students for Justice in Palestine, Spartans for Israel were present along with the Jewish fraternity Alpha Epsilon Pi and the Black Student Union.
Because who really sits around and breaks down the ability to bring to a dollar amount? Pulls out a pen and paper and some type of mathematical calculator and says, you shall die for this amount of currency.
The final vote is 10-5-0. It passes.
This is amazing that we have people from all different backgrounds just uniting and standing up for people, no matter their background, no matter their race, no matter their religion. I think this is incredible.
The resolution now goes to the Tower Foundation, which is the investment arm of San Jose State. There, the board will figure out whether or not they will pass a mandate from Associated Students. Reporting live on campus, Bobby Dupree, Update News.
Also on the pro-divestment side was the backing of the Black Student Union, who also held their own march just hours before the decision.
The reason why we are not for their oppression, from me being a Black student and a Black person being familiar with oppression, I know that the only people that are opposed to liberating and oppressed people are those who benefit from the oppression. That is the only way that people are for something like this.
Mizzou, we stand with you. Mizzou, we stand with you. Mizzou, we stand with you.
The Black Student Union and allies marched around campus to stand with Mizzou and dressed in all black to show solidarity for students at University of Missouri. Criticism over racist incidents at the university has claimed the jobs of 2 top officials. Participants ended the rally in front of the student union and stressed the importance of standing up to racism. Members of the Black Student Union say that although their organization has been active for years, they're coming into a new period of heightened energy, reminiscent of the demonstrations of the 60s and 70s. Paris is still recovering from the multiple terrorist attacks on the city last week. In this just in, we have breaking news that a hotel in the West African nation of Mali has been overrun by terrorists. As many as 27 people have been killed at the Radisson Blu Hotel. According to the BBC, there's no confirmed connection to ISIS. With international unrest, students are concerned. Here at the International House, the attacks on Paris are being felt deeply.
There's going to be the sense of tragedy, the sense of loss, a loss of control, a lot of fear, and then a lot of bonding.
Students from 25 countries live here this semester, and they are leaning on each other to get through.
It's not just the French who are impacted by this, it's everyone.
Some members of the campus community are concerned about building anger towards Muslims.
I was angry, but that was my personal anger, and I don't want anybody to touch my anger and play with it.
If manipulated, anger can easily lead to racism and resentment. Professor Trudeau warns that this resentment is already building and impressionable young people may be susceptible.
There are white people who are ready to fight and kill Muslims.
We spoke with a Muslim student who asked not to be identified for safety concerns during this time of raw feelings.
What? How did this happen? I went to school and everything was fine, and then I come look on Facebook and then, it's so overwhelming at first, and you're just trying to get an idea of how this happened.
She says she doesn't necessarily fear for herself on the San Jose State campus, but instead she worries for others in places that are less diverse and open-minded.
Be angry, but direct it in a productive way and say, okay, let's bring this to the table. We're all angry. Okay, let's unify us in this feeling of we're not going to let this stand. Let's stand for justice.
Some members of the SJSU community are mourning the lives lost, especially for one of the CSU's own. Industrial design senior Noemi Gonzalez of CSU Long Beach was killed while studying abroad in Paris, and a tribute was left against the Peace Pole in her honor.
That's the last thing on your mind when you study abroad is what if there's a terrorist attack in my city?
Reyes spent a semester in France last year, and after the news of what happened, he doesn't have plans to go back anytime soon.
I think a lot more people will be more cautious of choosing Paris, or just major cities in general.
Facebook has exploded in profile pictures adorned with a French flag to show solidarity.
The California Faculty Association is fighting for a 5% pay increase. 30 SJSU faculty members joined the Fight for 5 rally outside CSU Long Beach Tuesday. Andrea Sandoval is live on campus with more. Andrea?
Eugene, here on campus next semester, faculty could stage a walkout. To drive the possibility of a strike, professors from many CSU campuses descended on Long Beach Tuesday as their colleagues held watching parties.
So I'm here to see what kind of progress might be going on in negotiations, if there's any new news really on where we are with that, if the Chancellor has any new thoughts from their negotiating team.
Faculty that could not make it to the Long Beach rally gathered in the engineering building over pizza and soft drinks to watch the protest unfold at the Chancellor's office. Faculty wore their red shirts that said, "I don't want to strike, but I will." The issue is money. CSU has offered a 2% pay raise, but the California Faculty Association is pushing for a 5%.
Hopefully it'll spur some progress, that people know that faculty are serious about their needs, and that we're willing to go the distance if that's necessary. Nobody wants to have a work stoppage, nobody wants to strike, but we hope that the pressure will mean some progress.
CSU management says that the 2% pay increase would cost $33 million, and the 5% demand, which includes an additional 2.65% increase, would cause $102.3 million. Both sides have been debating since May.
It is quite obvious that teachers, faculty in the CSU have been underpaid for quite a long time. And during the crisis, we have made the sacrifices. We went through a furlough with a 10% pay cut. We have not had significant increases for almost a decade now. And 2% is just not enough. We have taken the sacrifice, we have shared the sacrifice during the economic crisis. Now that our economy is growing again, our salary should grow too.
Faculty say that if the increase on pay does not increase, 450,000 students will be affected by next year. Fact-finding hearings are scheduled for Monday, December 7th. Live on campus, Andrea Sandoval, Update News.
The day before the Long Beach protest, San Jose State Interim President Susan Martin and Vice President of Student Affairs Reginald Blaylock addressed the CFA demands at their regularly scheduled news conference. Several times a year, administrators make themselves available to any questions from student media. On Monday, several reporters had questions about the likelihood of a strike and what would happen at SJSU if teachers walked out.
Campus prepares for that with the committee, but certainly, you know, students come here to learn, and hopefully the faculty will continue to be present in the classroom and that we can come to a resolution.
President Martin said she hopes that the CFA situation is resolved quickly and effectively. The first fact-finding session between the CFA and CSU is scheduled for November 23rd.
She's not only present.
Some students cannot eat regularly because of financial problems, and some are homeless. Students, staff members, and nonprofit organizations participated in a poverty panel discussion Friday at the Martin Luther King Library. Less than a dozen people attended. The meeting followed an all-night vigil to draw attention to poverty and homelessness. Palo Alto resident Willie Mackey told the group about his prior struggles with being homeless. He hopes others receive the help they need in order to break out of homelessness.
I want you to start thinking about ways that we can engage my community so that we take more responsibility for our own destination instead of always expecting you to take care of me.
Participants in the panel offered suggestions to help homeless students, including a tuition fee increase of $2 in order to get a transitional housing and a more unified food pantry system. Winter season is coming up faster and faster, but before students can unpack their snowboards and Christmas lights, they must first go through one dreadful challenge: Finals Week. To help make Finals Week less painful, San Jose State has a few tricks. Update News reporter Katie Oriana is live in the newsroom with more. Katie?
Eugene, this final season might be a little more relaxing with the help of some study tips. Pure Connection is reaching out to students in a brand new way.
Final season is almost here, but instead of letting students drown in their tears, some organizations are doing their best to keep the motivation up. Associated Students and Pure Connections teamed up on Tuesday afternoon for a fun event called How to Get Away with Finals.
Given how this event went, I think it's a good turnout. I think students are really liking it, so hopefully we could do another event with them at least once a semester.
Helpful tips range from different topics such as time management, how to set up goals, and how to prioritize. Some tips shared by Pure Connections mentors include keeping your planners updated, setting up SMART goals, rewarding yourself for small wins, and taking breaks in between study sessions.
So finding a way to, engage students more about college success strategies, but, also infusing more events and opportunities for students to meet one another as well, making it fun.
Pure Connection mentors presented the tips. They encourage students to take notes and actively participate. At the end of the event, students discuss what they learned and how they can incorporate new tips in their everyday lives. They received school supplies and even a Spartan Squad t-shirt. Some students said they took away much more than they expected.
This is like my first semester here, right? I'm a freshman, and I just want to get good habits drilled in for the coming 4 years.
Pure Connections is looking to have further workshops like this in the future.
Any students needing further help can visit Pure Connections in Clark Hall. The next study event will be held December 4th by Pure Connections. They'll focus on helpful test-taking skills. Live in the newsroom, Katie Oriana, Update News.
Coming up next, we'll show you how San Jose State is helping minority high school students prep for college.
Christmas is just around the corner, and geographically speaking, so is downtown Ice. See what opening night is like next.
Students compete for their apps to be sold by 2 major game companies. We'll show you what the students create.
Update News continues in 30 seconds. Applications for fall 2016 admission has been open since October 1st. High school students from around San Jose got the chance to get a feel of what college is like. The African American College Readiness Summit attracted about 500 students from various high schools around San Jose. It was sponsored by SJSU and the Santa Clara County Office of Education. Update News reporter Adrian Monroy has the story.
High school seniors spent the day at SJSU Friday.
attending a student panel, several workshops, and a career fair. They listened to motivational speeches.
I think that this event was very good and educational, and I just like to learn. I'm glad that I learned a lot because I came here not knowing half of the stuff.
Skylar Caesar is part of the Black Student Union. She offers students advice. One big tip, choose a major that they really love.
The purpose of the event was to get high school students ready to go to college and to inspire them to come and let them know that they can do it. It's not too late for them. They have an opportunity to go.
SJSU alumnus and keynote speaker of this event, Sean Gardier, said this African American College Readiness Summit was to inspire students and to supply them with tools necessary to apply to college and succeed once they get here.
I thank everyone who put this together because these black kids and these black students really need to be able to come together and be inspired as a people. And so I feel like this is a great step in that direction. And you guys have put together, or San Jose State has put together, a great program.
The next session will be in the spring, but this time the focus will be on middle school students to get them thinking early about going to college. On campus, Adrian Monroy, Update News.
Now we have Christian Ponce here with Arts and Entertainment. What have you got for us, Christian?
Well, it looks like the holidays are in full swing already. Christmas in the Park has arrived. A popular attraction downtown gets people ready for the holidays. Vanessa Gangora reports.
The holiday season is here. The San Jose Downtown Association lifts the San Jose spirit every year by hosting Downtown Ice. The skating rink is open to the public on Market and San Fernando streets. Opening night, November 13th, was a big hit.
It was busy. It was packed all the way until we closed. We're open till midnight on Friday and Saturday, so those are when we usually get packed.
Downtown Ice is for everyone, but children 13 and under must be supervised by a parent or guardian. Children enjoy ice skating with their family and friends.
The thing I like to do is like play it. It's funny how we fall, and yeah, it's cool.
Okay, I like about ice skating, well, it's my first time here, so like I like seeing other people do tricks, and like also how she said it's funny how people fall.
Not only is Downtown Ice popular for families, but for couples too. The ice skate while holding hands, and the lights make the environment more romantic.
It's just fun. It's like kind of a stress reliever from like school. So I try to come out as like much as possible. So, and you just kind of join me because you like skating too now.
Yeah, it's weird for me because I'm from Louisiana and we don't have ice in any sort unless you open the freezer. So for me, met her, she skates, and I'm like, wow, this seems fun. So it was kind of something fun for me to pick up. I've got really good balance and it just kind of came natural. And
Downtown Ice offers season passes, gift certificates, and also has non-profit fundraisers. It even has themed events on specific days. Downtown Ice will be open until February 7th, Monday through Thursday, 5 to 9 p.m. Friday, 5 p.m. to midnight. Saturday is from noon to midnight, and Sunday from noon to 9 p.m. In San Jose, Vanessa Gangora, Update News.
GameStop and IBM collaborated together to host their first ever hackathon at San Jose State. The event Saturday brought in geeks and non-geeks galore. Marguerite Tufuli has a story.
From business to engineering majors, SJSU students showed off their cognitive skills in front of two big-time companies, GameStop and IBM. SJSU students worked in groups to develop apps for real-life projects in the GameStop and IBM industries.
From GameStop's perspective, we get to connect with the youth, we get to connect with folks with really great, inspiring ideas. We get to then share back with them ways how to better build technology, share our lessons, share things that we've done over our careers and help them out.
Both companies had a group of 15 technologists who helped students code and formulate new software and applications.
At the beginning, we had a, that sort of ramp up time they need to get used to the platform, but as the night went on, there's some really interesting ideas.
The event lasted 2 days and some students stayed overnight. Prizes went to the group who judges thought came up with the best app. Prizes included 40-inch plasma TV screens and gaming consoles such as the Wii, PS4, and Xbox 360. Sarah Sebastian is a computer engineer at SJSU. She is one of the few women here.
I definitely want to see more girls coming into this hackathons and actually represent our capability. I recommend a lot of students who actually know these things to come, and I think this is a perfect way of showing what we can do and how much you need to learn and how much you can test yourself. Are you ready to go out there?
GameStop executives are looking forward to working with students in the Silicon Valley area.
It's been a fantastic experience. I can't imagine going to a university and getting treated better and having a better experience with a hackathon. It's been fantastic.
I'm delighted to let you know that we've received so many great feedback from GameStop executives and IBM folks that how great our students are. They said that they've had great ideas, and the ideas are actually something that could help them in their business.
GameStop and IBM plan to host another hackathon event next spring. On campus, Marguerite Tufuli, Update News.
Students in the Industrial Studies building cooked up a feast Tuesday evening for participating students without a single microwave or stovetop. Members of the Glass Artists Guild used glass blowing equipment to demonstrate the different ways to cook various meals and snacks using melted hot glass. Some of the delicious food included Anheuser cookies, power drill veggie kebabs, baked cinnamon apples, and even ground beef tacos. Members of the Glass Artists Guild hope to spread the passion for glass to others on campus.
I love glass as a medium in itself. Glass as a material is something that's cool and addicting and sexy, and cooking with glass is just a really fun way to use glass, more than just an art form or a craft, but as like a way to make food and share in community and fellowship and time together.
The Glass Artists Guild will be back at it next week selling glass ornaments and snowmen along 7th Street Plaza throughout the next week. And that's all I have for arts and entertainment this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out those ornaments.
Yeah, and I cannot imagine living without a microwave.
I'll get you a cookbook for Christmas.
Thanks, I can start making instant noodles now. A fraternity on campus raises money and awareness for an honorable cause. We'll show you where the proceeds go.
Students get the chance to experience the most important meal of the day all over the world.
And we'll show you the results of the women's NCAA soccer match, how SJSU did it when it made history, when Update News returns. Sigma Nu Fraternity hosted a week of events at SJSU to raise money for an important cause. The money will benefit veterans via the Wounded Warriors Project. Michaela Shelton has the story.
Hundreds of Greeks gathered at the Sigma Nu Fraternity House this week to participate in their philanthropy, the White Rose Queen.
All the proceeds go to the Wounded Warrior Project, so they're having different events. They had recently a canned food drive, that was yesterday.
President of the fraternity, Viral Sarhad, says the Wounded Warrior Project directly affects many Greeks.
Wounded Warrior Project is a nonprofit organization that helps with military and people who serve in the armed forces coming back from overseas, assimilating back into a regular civilian lifestyle.
Before the big Rose Queen pageant Thursday, Hype Night was held. Games played during Hype Night included tug-of-war, musical chairs, and an egg toss. Sorority members were excited and hyped to watch their sisters compete for White Rose Queen. The title was awarded to the candidate whose team earned the most points. Contestants all had different motives for participating.
My family was in the Army. My dad was in the military for a long time. And so it was very influential to me to try to help a good cause.
Aside from providing fun events for students, Sigma Nu earned $6,000 towards the Wounded Warrior Project. In San Jose, Michaela Shelton, Update News.
The Peer Health Education Club is showing students the importance of the first meal of the day. The club hosted the Great Global Breakfast in front of the Wellness Center, and it gave students an insight to what people on the other continents eat for breakfast. Students got to crack eggs and use chopsticks for some of the activities. And once guests went to every booth, they were rewarded with a free breakfast.
We talk about the different aspects of it as far as like hormonal changes and physiological changes that occur if you don't eat breakfast.
and then the outward effects like not able to focus in class or just things like that.
The Peer Health Education program encourages students to eat a balanced breakfast every morning. An example of a solid breakfast consists of fruits, dairy, and carbohydrates, so make sure to not skip the most important meal of the day.
Now we have Vanessa Gongora here with sports. What's new, Vanessa?
Well, next week is the football's last home game, so it's kind of sad.
Yay.
The San Jose State women's soccer team made a valiant effort Friday night against Stanford, but came up short. After winning the Mountain West title, the Spartans entered the first round of the NCAA tournament against the #1 seed, the Stanford Cardinal. The game went back and forth until an own goal by San Jose State allowed the Cardinal to take the lead. Despite a number of chances created by the Spartans, Stanford was able to put another goal in the back of the net. This was enough to send Stanford to the next round and enough to send San Jose State's season and San Jose State season.
We were picked 7th in the Mountain West Conference, and we looked at that and said, no way. So we knew we were going to be top 2, and we knew we had to take down San Diego. We did just that. We expected to be here. It's just for the future, I think we're going to have more experience, and these games are going to go a little different.
This was just the second appearance for the Spartans women's soccer team in the NCAA tournament since the year 2000. And coming up this weekend, women's volleyball will be hosting the San Diego State Aztecs at 1 p.m. on Saturday the 21st. Next Friday, the football team will have their last home game of the season on Friday, November 21st, against Hawaii at 12:30 p.m. And because you won't see us next week, men's basketball will be playing University of Antelope Valley on December 2nd. And that's all we have for sports.
I'm really going to have to try to make it out to that game. It'll be a great end to Thanksgiving weekend.
Well,
Definitely. And that's it for this week's edition of Update News.
We won't be seeing you next week, so we hope you have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us.